Your first school day stories sound like they're from different planets. One of you remembers a yellow bus breathing diesel in crisp morning air, a paper bag lunch, and a name tag that kept curling at the edges. The other remembers walking with a grandparent through market streets, warm bread in a pocket, a teacher greeting the class with a song. This is sharing childhood memories in multicultural relationships, where the small details we thought were ordinary become the map to each other's hearts. What you learned that day still lives in you. How to enter a room, how to say your name, how to spot a friend before they spot you. These memories don't just explain your past, they explain the way you love now, how you comfort, how you celebrate, how you go quiet when life gets loud. Welcome to Whispered Hearts, English, where we turn life stories into bridges. Tonight, we're going to open the boxes in the attic, safely, gently, with a little laughter and a lot of respect. We'll explore why stories create closeness, how to share them in ways that feel good, and how to turn old scenes into new traditions you'll look forward to. There is a reason your body relaxes when you hear the sound of your partner's childhood street. Research shows that memory told with care calms the nervous system and builds trust. Therapists report that couples who trade stories learn to argue softer and forgive faster. The past becomes more than information. It becomes a soft place to land. Start with small, sensory openings. Ask, what did mornings sound like in your home? Let them answer with toast popping, roosters, or the hiss of a radiator waking up in winter. Ask, what did school smell like? Some will say chalk. Some will say rain on cement. Some will say a snack of oranges handed down a hall. But there's something even quieter, holding love together when we tell our stories. It's the moment someone sees the kid you used to be and treats them with kindness. When your partner hears how you saved your allowance in a jar, or how you stared at the stars on an apartment balcony, they understand your grown-up decisions without a debate. Here's your first reflection nudge. What's one childhood object you could describe without naming it? A sound, a texture, a color? Share it in one line tonight and watch how your partner leans in. Culture shapes what we remember. Some of us grew up with school uniforms folded sharp as origami. Others wore whatever was clean and warm, with a parent calling, "Grab your hoodie." Some joined hands to sing a flag song each morning. Others bowed to elders before catching a bus. Different rituals taught us where to put our eyes and what to do with our hands. Your neighborhoods wrote scripts you still use. Maybe summers were loud with cousins, sprinklers, and backyard barbecues that ended under string lights. Maybe they were quiet with library trips, bike rides, and a porch swing that squeaked like a happy door. Both kinds of childhood teach a rhythm for joy. Your couple can borrow the best tempo from each. But here's a curiosity spike that changes the game. What if the story you've told yourself about your childhood is only one angle? What would happen if you asked a sibling or an old friend to add a detail? Not to prove you wrong, to make your memory more colorful and generous. Make sharing playful and safe. Build a memory snack night where you trade 3 short stories over something simple: peanut butter toast, mango slices, popcorn dusting your fingers with salt. Keep a timer nearby so no one monologues. Stories should feel like passing a bowl, not a speech. Interactive prompts help shy storytellers. Try these on a walk under summer evening warmth. Tell me about the first friend who made you feel cool. What was your scariest teacher's voice like? If your childhood had a soundtrack, name 2 songs. Questions like these open doors without pushing. If your partner grew up in another country or in a totally different corner of your own, let images do the work words can't. Look at maps. Use Street View. Ask, where would you turn left to get to your grandma's place? Let them show the corner shop, the school gate, the park bench with the paint always peeling. Geography becomes biography, but there's something even quieter that will hold you when memories sting. Consent. Some things are tender. Some are not yours to share on camera or with friends. Agree on a phrase that pauses the story without shame. Let's keep that one for us, is a love sentence. When a memory causes heat, envy, sadness, or a pinch of, why didn't I have that? Repair gently and fast. You can say, I'm happy you had that. My chest still hurts a little because I didn't. Your partner can answer, thank you for telling me. I can hold the joy and the ache. Then do something small to reconnect. Pour tea, take a porch breath, or sit closer than usual. Here's a prompt for the comments in your living room. What's a childhood game you played until the streetlights came on? How did it teach you about fairness, bravery, or laughter? Drop it below and trade it at home. Make room for school day stories. Ask, what did the first day feel like for you? Some will remember shoes too shiny and a backpack too big. Some will remember chalk dust and a teacher drawing perfect circles. Some will remember saying their name and wondering if the room would say it back. In that small moment lives the shape of every new beginning you've had since. Share how you learned to eat, gather, and talk. Did your family eat at a low table on floor cushions, or around a tall table with elbows scolded? Were birthdays loud with everyone invited, or quiet with a single cake and a candle you lit twice? Were holidays about prayer, parades, both, or neither? You aren't comparing, you're collecting. But there's something even quieter that turns stories into closeness. Translation without performance. If your partner tells a story from their language, ask for the version that keeps its music. Not just the words, but the tone. Say it the way your grandparents said it. Then repeat it back, even if you stumble. The stumble is affection. Bring out old photos if you have them. If you don't, draw a memory on a napkin. Stick figures work fine. This is the door I ran through, you'll say, laughing at your own lines. This is the dog who followed me for 3 blocks. Somewhere between your drawing and your smile, the child you were stands in the room. Story nights love a setting. On crisp winter evenings, dim the lights and pull a blanket over your knees. On spring nights, crack the window and let the rain scent in while you talk. Your home becomes a little theatre, where the show is your history and the audience is one person who matters. Here's an easy game that builds warmth. The 2 objects exchange. Each of you brings 2 small things that echo your childhood. A recipe card, a coin, a ribbon, a shell, a worn library card. You tell 1 story per object. Then you place them on a shelf together, like a tiny museum of us. If laughter is your couple's language, use it. Show the worst school picture. Reenact the haircut that made you look like a mushroom. Laughing at your past with someone kind is a trust fall you didn't know you needed. It says, we can be silly and safe. But there's something even quieter that deepens the room. Celebrate the values under the stories. Your partner's tale about walking siblings to school isn't just logistics, it's responsibility. Your story about tinkering with a broken radio isn't just curiosity, it's problem solving. Name the value out loud. You were a helper then. You're a helper now. Turn stories into small present-day rituals. If your partner grew up with Saturday pancakes, make a monthly pancake morning, even if you usually prefer eggs. If you grew up with early evening street soccer, take a walk and kick a ball around a park for 20 minutes. Rituals are how we tell our bodies, we belong together. Here's a mid-episode pause from Whispered Hearts. English. You don't need the same childhood to make a strong home. You need curiosity, kindness, and the courage to listen past the words to the person. This channel is a porch light for that kind of listening. Invite friends and family into the project when it feels right. Ask a parent for a quick voice note about how you were on the first day of school. Ask an aunt about the summer everyone camped in the living room because the power went out. Small witness voices color your stories without turning them into a documentary. When stories bump into disagreements, like which holiday to emphasize, practice repair that protects both kids you once were. Try this script. I see you light up at this tradition. I do too, at mine. Let's give each one a headline moment this year, not a footnote. Then schedule dates before the calendar fills you for you. You just taught your home how to share. But there's something even quieter that keeps storytelling safe. Pacing. Don't empty the whole attic in one night. Leave one box for next week. Leave something for a car ride when autumn leaves skate along the curb and your thoughts can wander without pressure. Hold a taste of home evening. Cook each other's childhood snacks. Rice with a drizzle of soy sauce. A grilled cheese that squeaks on your teeth. A bowl of mango sticky rice. A slice of birthday cake with frosting you can't quite explain. Food is a friendly translator when words sit shyly on your tongue. Share your old ways of playing. If you learned clapping games, teach one. If you learned to fly a paper kite that never quite flew straight, make one together and try anyway. If you learned card tricks from a cousin at a loud family table, teach one poorly and laugh at the flop. Play lets the room breathe. Here's another engagement prompt to keep the comments lively and your evening sweet. What's a childhood memory you've shared with your partner? Did it change how they see you? Tell us one sentence that landed softly. Invite sounds into the session. Record 5 minutes of where you grew up now. Voices, birds, train horns, market vendors, or the hush of snow. Play it while you sit on the floor, backs against the couch, phones down. Sound carries a street into a living room without a plane ticket. But there's something even quieter that builds a shared language. Borrow each other's nicknames. If your grandfather called you Star in another tongue, invite your partner to use it when you look tired. If your teacher called you Professor because you always asked why, let your partner try it when you start fixing things that don't need fixing. If hard memories rise, treat them with tender science and simple care. Move slower. Keep eye contact easy, not intense. Anchor yourself. Feet on the floor, hand on your own chest, breathe. Say, we can pause. We can save this for therapy or another time. Safety first, story second. Here's a tiny practice that turns listening into a gift. Mirror the last sentence your partner says, but softer. You felt alone on field day. Then add one curious line. What would have helped 10-year-old you? Let them answer without rushing to solve. Being heard is sometimes the whole fix. Recreate gentle pieces of the past in the present. If your partner loved library days, make a monthly date where you pick a book for each other. If they loved fireworks at a summer fair, surprise them with sparklers on a safe patch of sidewalk. If they loved the smell of a certain soap in their grandmother's house, buy a bar and tuck it into a drawer. But there's something even quieter standing behind every story. Pride that isn't loud. The kind that says, We came from somewhere good, and we're building something good. Let yourselves feel it. Pride makes gratitude stick. When you feel disconnected, use stories as a bridge back. Sit at the kitchen table and trade firsts. First friend, first big mistake you survived, first secret kept just for fun. Notice how laughter returns like a porch light, flicking on at dusk. That small glow is connection doing its work. Add a community layer if you like. Visit a cultural festival from each side of the family. Listen to the music, eat the food, ask vendors what their childhood tasted like, and bring that answer home as a new dish. You're not collecting souvenirs. You're collecting recipes for belonging. Here's a Sunday night ritual to try for 1 month. 2 questions before bed. What tiny piece of your childhood would you bring into this week? What tiny piece of mine should we add? Maybe it's a lunchbox note with a doodle. Maybe it's a song while you cook. Little drops, big lake. If you ever feel like your stories compete, stop and reset the frame. You're not trying to prove whose childhood was better. You're trying to make a home where both can hang pictures on the same wall. Say it out loud. 2 histories, 1 house. Then hand each other a nail and a hammer. But there's something even quieter we'll end with. The future waiting to be shaped by the past. Use your stories to design what comes next. Names for pets, holiday menus, the way you greet guests, the way you say goodbye at the door. The child in you knows what feels like home. Ask them and listen. Picture this closing scene. You're at a small kitchen table with a flickering candle, photo edges curling toward the warmth. Outside, spring rain taps the window. You imitate the way your teacher said your name. Your partner imitates their first bus driver's whistle. You laugh until you lean against each other. It feels like knowing and being known at the same time. If you're new here, whispered hearts. English is where stories turn into steady love. We believe that cooking a childhood snack can repair a hard day. We believe that maps and music are as important as plans and budgets. We believe this kind of sharing builds homes that weather everything. Tell us below, what's a childhood memory you've shared with your partner? Did it change the way they hold you in hard moments? Your sentence might be the thread someone else uses to start their own conversation tonight. Love grows when history stops being private. When your partner knows the color of your childhood lunchbox and the road you walk to school, they know how to find you when you go quiet. Keep telling the stories, keep drawing the napkins, keep making tiny museums of us. That is the everyday magic of sharing childhood memories in multicultural relationships.